Have you ever had to use a fire extinguisher? I have. I have. It's a sobering experience. But that's not why this is here. This is an old fire extinguisher. I got a new one yesterday. I know. I know. Congratulations. Thank you. New fire extinguisher in the family. No, the reason this is here, and I want to point out that I'm pretty sure my channel is the only channel on YouTube to have ever done this. The reason this is here is that I'm going to use it as a tripod. Right there. Perfect. So you guys have heard me talk, right? About how I don't like killing stuff and have problems with buying commercial meat and that sort of thing. And one of the reasons I switched to fly fishing is that you're much less likely to hurt the fish, right? By the way, I'm smoking my Devil Ants and some Frog Morton on the Town. In my opinion, this tobacco is a roller coaster, man. It really varies bowl by bowl. Yesterday on the river, I smoked the best bowl of this stuff. It was great. Right now, not really doing it for me, to be honest with you. So I'm fishing, right? Standing there in the creek and smoking my pipe. Got my fishing hat. Having a perfect day. And I cast into this little riffle. And it was kind of a difficult cast because there's an old, not rotten, but dead tree right in the middle of the creek. The creek kind of turns around it. And I got a bite. I knew it was a trout because I had seen him jumping. And I was fishing with a pheasant tail nymph, which has been highly recommended to me and which I've gotten pretty good at tying. I feel that given my skill at tying anything, the pheasant tail, I think I've got it down. And this was my first bite ever on a pheasant tail nymph, and I was really excited. And so when I felt the bite, I yanked the rod for the hook set. And as you know, so far I have killed 2 fish. Both were gut hooked on spinning. Hang on. Come on. Come on in. Oh, cameo. Hello, Pepper. How are you doing? Aren't you glad that this has happened? Isn't this your favorite thing in the whole world? Okay, thanks for playing. Bye. What's it talking about? Anyway, right. So I've gut hooked 2 fish and I had to kill them, and one of those stories was quite dramatic and ended up with me getting stitches. So I switched to fly fishing. Anyway, hook set, right? I yanked the rod, and I guess it was like just a smaller fish than I was expecting, or it like was jumping right when I yanked the rod because I jerked the fish out of the river. It sailed through the air and hit the tree. Boom. And I'm like, son of a bitch, you're dead. Yesterday I was kind of upset about it. And this morning I woke up and I'm like, I think it was just that fish's time to go. I think that fish had learned all it could in this life, and God was like, you're out of here. Because that's the equivalent of like some death from a cold open on 6 Feet Under or something. Like, it's just that's crazy. And yeah, I mean, I called Brad, and Brad's like, yeah, I've never ever once done that, ever. Great. I don't know. I'm not going to stop fishing. Obviously, I'm getting less and less squeamish about this. But I want to respect, the fish. You gotta respect the fish. Um, and that just it was such an undignified death, you know, so undignified. Um, so I wish that I could learn lessons without killing things, but lesson learned. Lesson learned: don't swing a fish around in the air and whack it into a tree. Um, I, I think that's a lesson we all need to learn, really. So I'm seeing everybody's videos from the Chicago Pipe Show. I wish I could be there, but I can't because I'm broke. As a joke, broke as a joke. Also, I had to work, and the thing about weddings is the bride gets really mad if you try to reschedule them. So, oh man, I shot this wedding the other night. Oh, it was terrible. It was horrible. Not because anybody was mean or anything, but there was a weather situation that was not properly planned for, and I was a little stressed out by that. I was a little stressed out. The wedding was in Oak Ridge, Tennessee, birthplace of the atom bomb. And let's stop here for a second. If your town was the birthplace of the atom bomb, would you make that your slogan? Like, welcome to Oak Ridge, birthplace of the atom bomb. I know there's people that think that nuclear weapons, the proliferation of nuclear weapons in particular, will bring about world peace. Because if we all have a weapon that could kill all of us, then no one will ever use it. And the people that think that have clearly never met other people. We'll definitely use it. It's just a matter of time. I mean, I think Oppenheimer and Einstein and Roosevelt and all those shadowy figures behind the development of the atom bomb really couldn't understand crazy North Korean dictators. Because, like, Hitler and Stalin, like, they were crazy dictators, right? But they weren't that crazy, right? I mean, Kim Jong, whichever, is, man, he is crazy. When you execute your political enemies with anti-aircraft guns, that's crazy, right? Like, although, it wouldn't be that bad of a way to go, really. Like, if I ever have to be executed, I want to go in the way that will leave the biggest mess to clean up. Which I think an anti-aircraft gun, that's a contender. So it's been 4 days. I'm still having stress dreams about this wedding. So it was Oak Ridge, which is over the mountain from here, via I-40. And there's this section of I-40 where I guess they ran out of dynamite and they didn't blast enough of a path through the mountain. So there's no median. There's just a giant wall that's like a foot away from your car. Like, you could literally roll down your window and touch it as you're driving by if you wanted to lose your hand. And on the other side, there's these huge trucks like laboring up the mountain, so you can't just stay out of the left lane. You got to get into the left lane and you got to be right against that wall. And I've never made this drive when it wasn't just pouring rain. So the whole time, I mean, I'm not that old, right? Like, I'm old and I'm a curmudgeon, but I'm not one of those people that doesn't like to drive too far at night or whatever. Like, I'm a good driver. And man, that was stressful. That was bad. So, pouring rain the whole time. And then the wedding was actually postponed an hour, which is just my nightmare, man. It actually doesn't really affect me at all. I could be totally zen about it and be like, oh, I get paid the same. It's my job to just roll with everything. No, I like schedules. I don't like surprises. Photographers do not like surprises. And, so I needed a day or two to decompress after that drive and that situation. So I went fishing and, murdered something Evel Knievel style. And now I feel a lot better. Thanks for watching. Keep the ends out for the ties that bind.